All right, listeners, as promised, we have Mr. Mike LePond from Symphony X on the phone, man. Mike, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Billy. Great to be here. I'm excited to talk to you and meet you finally.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. Same here, man. I'm thrilled to death. Thanks for calling in tonight, man.
Oh, cool. My pleasure, man. Love talking about metal anytime.
Mike, now, man, you're with Symphony X since '99. You've been in various bands. One I just mentioned, Holy Force, was probably one of my favorites. But now you're out with solo CD, man. What's the story about wanting to do solo?
Well, I always wanted to put out a CD that reflected my influences. The band I'm in, Symphony X, we're a very popular progressive metal band. But I grew up listening to like classic heavy metal, like the Judas Priests and the Iron Maidens of the world. And I always wanted to put out an album like that. And I always wanted to make the fans feel like I felt when I first put on an album like that in your face, like, wow, that raw kind of metal style. So Symphony X usually puts out records maybe every 4 years. So the last time we did that in 2011, I said, wow, maybe during this downtime I could finally do a solo album. So as we were going on the road in the USA and Europe, there's a lot of downtime on the tour bus. So during that time, I would wake up before everybody in the band, get to my computer, I'd write lyrics, write music, and did a little each day. And then by the time we were done with our touring cycle for the last album, I had all the material I needed. So then I proceeded to record the record, and then after like 3 years, wow. I finally had it. Yeah, and it was great. Just to have it finally in your hands, and it was just so rewarding.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Now, you touched a little bit on the songwriting, man. You're the primary songwriter, or was there any collaboration?
With this album, actually, I did everything. I wrote all the lyrics. I wrote all the music. I wrote the vocal melodies, and it was really a daunting task. I even tried my hand at producing, which was really, really hard, but I had a blast doing it. So yeah, I mean, everything on that CD to the letter is all me.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Awesome. So now, you touched a little bit on your influences there, but how would you describe the sound of the CD to people?
Well, it's like, I think no matter what style of heavy metal you listen to, I think there's something in there for you. Each song has its own kind of style. There's some songs that you would just call traditional heavy metal. There's some songs that you would call thrash metal. There's a song you would call doom metal. And there's so many influences. Even I've been listening to a lot of there's a big movement out of Europe right now called folk metal and Viking metal.
Yeah.
And I even have a lot of those influences in there too. So it really spans, not only the old bands, but a lot of the newer styles too that are out there. So I mean, it's like looking at 40 years of heavy metal influence in that record.
Oh wow. Yeah. So, well, like, who would you say are your personal influences, man?
As far as like bass players or bands?
Let's go with bassists, man.
Yeah. Well, the first bass player I got introduced to was Gene Simmons, and that's when I was like 13, 14 years old, and of course. You see the guy on stage, you want to be just like him, when you're... Yep. So the first thing I did was I attempted to learn every Kiss song that was out at the time. So I did that, and actually I learned a lot from just just listening to the guy, and because he had a lot of really cool bass lines in his 70s stuff. But then I started to get into the other bands. I got into Black Sabbath and Geezer Butler. Of course, like every metal bass player, I got into Iron Maiden and Steve Harris.
Oh yeah.
But probably my biggest influence was Joey DeMeo from Manowar.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he had a style that really no one had, and I really learned a lot from him. And so I kind of put all those guys together, and actually, of course, Geddy Lee as well. And I kind of put a little style together. And as time went on, I kind of made it my own.
Cool, man. Cool. Now, Mike, is this something you're going to take out on the road, or is this just strictly studio, man?
I would like to take it on the road. I haven't done any shows yet, but I think I'm just kind of waiting for the right offer to come along. Like I want to do some like high profile stuff. I'd rather go with quality than quantity.
Right.
And I also have to keep in mind that Symphony X is going to be we're going to be starting our world tour very soon, so I kind of have to go in between the tours and just kind of maneuver around. But I definitely want to get it on the road at some point.
Cool, man. Cool. Well, how about we spin a song right now, man?
Excellent.
Apocalypse Rider, man. What can you tell us about the tune?
Yeah, Apocalypse Rider. I wrote the lyrics about Attila the Hun. And I just wanted the song to, when you first pop it in, I wanted to just punch you in your face, just straight ahead, raw, in your face metal. So I think I achieved it with the song, and I think it was perfect for an opener, and I hope everybody enjoys it.
Awesome. Check it out, listeners. This is Mike LePond, Silent Assassin, Apocalypse Rider. We'll be right back. All right, gang, we're back with Mike LePond. Mike, killer song, man. Awesome.
Oh, thanks, man. I'm glad you like it, man.
Awesome. Yeah. The whole CD is killer, man. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, that makes me feel so good. It's like I put like everything I had into it. So I mean, to get good feedback, it's just like that never gets old, and I always appreciate it. And thank you again.
Awesome. Yeah, man. So, Mike, when did you first pick up the bass, and when did you know that this is what you wanted to do?
Yeah, great story. So I'm 13 years old, and I go with my father to see Kiss in Madison Square Garden, New York City. Their hometown, and it's going to be a big thing. So, picture yourself as a 13-year-old, and you're seeing this Kiss show, and you've got all these bombs going off. You've got guitars shooting fire, and Gene Simmons is out there. He's flying, and he's shooting blood and all this stuff. And to a 13-year-old, you're like, wow, this guy's like better than Batman. So after that, I was like, wow, I want to be a rock star. I want to be a bass player just like Gene. So my father, God rest his soul, he bought me a bass, and I just took it from there. I took lessons for 1 year, and then I just learned by trying to figure out songs by my favorite bands. And boy, what a ride it's been. It's just been incredible. I'm just so blessed to still be able to do this.
That's awesome, man. What was the first song you learned to play, dude?
The first song, that's an excellent question, man. The first song I ever learned to play was, obviously a Kiss song. It was a song called Firehouse. It was on the,
yeah.
Right? That tune? It's so easy. It's great, So, being that young, I was so excited. What I would do is, I would try to put on Kiss makeup, and I would play the bass along with the record, and whatever superhero dolls or anything I had, that would be the audience, and I would play to everything. And yeah, it was awesome.
Cool, man. Cool. So now, like nowadays, man, what do you listen to? What are you into?
Friends of mine and fans of the band, they always send me links to YouTube for bands, that are out there. And I try to listen to everything. But, it's just weird. It's like I just always have that comfort zone where I just always kind of revert back to, the Manowars and the Judas Priests and the Ozzies and all that. I guess I just will always love that stuff,
Right.
But there are, just some amazing music out there. Like I was mentioning, a lot of the great styles of music that are out there, like the folk metal bands and the great progressive metal bands that are out there, and the power metal bands. There's just so many. And unfortunately, a lot of Americans don't get to hear these bands because a lot of them are based out of Europe.
Right.
So, but their metal is really alive and well in the world today, and I'm so happy that's the case. It keeps me working.
Yeah. I mean, we often talk about the music industry in North America on the show, but I can go on forever about that.
Oh, good Lord, dude! Yeah, it's not too good over here these days.
No, not unless you're Justin Bieber or Lady Gaga or.
Yeah,
the flavor of the month. Yeah.
Exactly, dude. It's like, in the USA, it's like they'll just jump on whatever trend is hot, and then they forget what just happened, and then, whatever, in a few months they're on to the next trend.
Yep.
But like, dude, you go over to Europe, and it's like they're loyal to the bands that they grew up with and they like. So you can and you go over there and they're dressed, you feel like you're back in a time capsule back to the 1980s, the way the guys and the girls are dressing, and it's like, it's just so refreshing, and it keeps you so energized.
Cool, man. So, Mike, when you're not writing, touring, doing band stuff, man, what do you do for a day off, man? What do you enjoy doing?
Oh, man, well, usually if I have some free time, I just like to do, like, simple things, I watch a lot of TV. I love watching the History Channel and, documentaries and things like that. That's always fun and interesting. I love, going out to dinner with some friends, or, going to see some metal shows, or just go hang out with friends at a local bar or something like that. Just simple things. Not really, nothing crazy. So, I mean, basically, that's kind of it.
Cool, man. Cool. In your entire career, man, what would you say is your most memorable moment?
Let's see. Well, I think the one moment that really struck me was, like in Symphony X, we would tour Europe or tour the USA, to like clubs. But then there was the first time that we were going to play a European festival. And for those of you out there who don't know, Europe every summer has these huge, and I mean huge, summer festivals where you can play to 20,000 people, you can play to 50,000
Wow.
and more. It's just ridiculous. So Symphony X got asked to play. There was this festival in Valencia, Spain, and I had never played a festival before. So we get to this festival, and it's just the amount of people was like unbelievable. It was like, it made me think of when I would go see, my favorite band at the local arena. So it's an outdoor festival, and I was nervous as heck. So we get up there, and man, it was the most incredible thing. The amount of energy you were getting, there had to be about 20,000 people there. And the amount of energy you were getting from the stage from these people was just absolutely amazing. So I'll never forget that.
That's great.
I mean, it almost felt like it wasn't real, like kind of surreal. It felt like a movie almost.
Wow, that's really cool, man. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Dude, let's take it the other way, man. Do you have any Spinal Tap moments you'd like to share with us?
There is a funny moment that I could definitely share. Well, after seeing Spinal Tap and then going on the road, I mean, Spinal Tap is so true. It's unbelievable. And I guess the closest thing to Spinal Tap that Symphony X had, we had done an arena tour in 2005. It was called the Gigantour, and it had Megadeth and Dream Theater, and these huge bands. So we were playing arenas. And I'll tell you what, there were so many times where we just could not find the stage. And it was, so, we'd be looking around for the stage, and we're like, where the hell is the stage? I mean, the place was so big, and we'd pass the janitor, we'd find closets, we'd find boiler rooms, but it was like, that is probably the most truest thing out of Spinal Tap, that in relation to Symphony X anyway.
That's great, man. Oh, wow. Hey, Mike, how about another tune, brother?
Sure, man, that'd be cool.
How about The Outsider? What can you tell us about that song?
Yeah, The Outsider is probably my favorite track on the record. The Outsider was based on a short story by H.P. Lovecraft. and he was kind of like an Edgar Allan Poe type guy,
right.
and very dark stories. So it's probably my favorite short story, and I just wanted to put it to music. The riff is kind of really unorthodox, and it's probably something that you may not have kind of even heard before. It's kind of cool. I really like it. It really moves. It grooves, and I guess that's all about that. So I guess just put it on and let's see what happens.
All right, check it out, gang. This is The Outsider, Mike LePond, Silent Assassin, and we'll be right back. All right, gang, we're back with Mike LePond. Mike, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. This has been a blast so far, dude.
Yeah, it is. It has. Thank you, man. Wow, and again, awesome tunes, man. Awesome,
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it, man.
dude. I mean, you can tell a lot of heart and soul went into these music into the music here.
Yeah, man. It's like you don't realize how much has to go into it to make it really, really special, man. Just I mean, songs. It really takes time to work on them and craft them, and you can't just. I mean, you can write a song like in one day, but if you really want to make it great, you have to. I mean, you have to really work at it, and I learned a lot from this time around. So, again, I'm glad everybody's digging it out there.
Cool, man. Now, I usually ask the bands have you think you've grown or evolved, but I think you just answered that question where you're saying you've learned a lot from doing a solo project, man. Can you touch on it a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, anytime I've been involved on an album or a record, it's been a band situation, so maybe somebody else will write a song, and basically all I have to do is write the bass line for it, and we'll send it out to get mixed and all this stuff, and it'll be no big deal. But to actually do all this stuff yourself, knowing full well that you're pretty well known out there, and people are going to be honest with you, so knowing full well you have to make it good. So to work on everything, the music and the lyrics and the arrangements and the orchestration and all these little things are become so important, because that's really what makes a song great. If there's one thing I learned, yeah, it's cool. You can slap a song together in a day. Yeah, that's all cool, but to really make it special, you have to put time in, and you have to find the right people to work with. And once you can do that, then you can put out a record that you're proud of.
Awesome, man. Awesome. And I usually follow up with what advice would you have for bands just starting out, man? But you just gave some pretty good advice right there.
Yeah, for young bands, I feel terrible these days, because for the young bands, I feel terrible because the music industry right now is making it so hard. You've got basically what you've got now is you have thousands of bands, unsigned bands and signed bands, and they're all thrown into this big bowl of soup called the internet.
Right.
And it's like, how do you break out of that? How do you break out of the pack of all these bands, and record companies are not sorting out the good bands from the bad bands anymore. So it's just a big, just a big mess going on, and it's so hard to break through. So I would just tell the young bands, the most important thing is write great songs. Make sure you write great songs, and you just have to out promote the other bands, and you have to try to come up with ways to get people to listen to you. Unfortunately, record companies, they're going out of business left and right.
Right.
So you really, it's kind of on you now. So you just gotta become a promotion machine and have the songs to back it up. That's the best advice I could give.
Great advice, man. Great advice. Now,
Thanks.
We're Silent Assassins, man. Do you have a specific goal in mind with this?
Well, I mean, I think first and foremost, my art had called me to put out a record like this. So I wanted to basically just put out the record and have people enjoy it. And my other goal is, do some shows, have some fun with it. It is a side project. My band is Symphony X, but I would like, the Silent Assassins thing to be around too when Symphony X is off the road, so I can basically, because I'm a workaholic and I like to keep working, and I love to play, and I love to meet the fans and make music.
Awesome, man, awesome. Now, do you have any upcoming shows with Symphony X?
Yes. Well, Symphony X, we have our new album, Underworld, coming out on July 24th, and our world tour is going to start on September, I believe it's September 18th. We're going to start, we're going to do a U.S. tour, and we're going to co-headline with Overkill.
Oh, wow.
So that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Those we're good friends with those guys, and we've always wanted to do a tour together. So the first tour will be about a month, from September to October in the States, and then next year we're going to cover the rest of the world.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, Mike, where can the listeners find Symphony X and Mike LePond Silent Assassin?
Well, I mean, theoretically, you should be able to find Symphony X absolutely anywhere on Earth, because we're definitely a big band, and our stuff is available, should be anywhere and everywhere. Silent Assassins, you should be able to find it whatever, iTunes, Amazon, and if you go to the Mike LePond Silent Assassins fan page on Facebook, you can see some links where you can also buy the CD.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, Mike, it's been an honor and a pleasure, man. It really has. It's been great. Thank you.
Oh, it's my pleasure, man, and I'm happy to be on, and let's definitely do this again sometime.
Definitely, man. I got one more song to spin now. It's the title track, man. What can you tell us about it?
The title track, Silent Assassins. Silent Assassins was written about the Trojan War, and to me, I consider the Silent Assassins to be the Greek warriors that were hiding inside the Trojan horse, and that eventually came out and destroyed the Trojans. And basically, it's a kind of like a thrash song, and just real in-your-face thrash, and I think it's the perfect way to end an interview.
Awesome, Mike. Again, thank you, man. It really has been a blast. It really has been. Thank you.
Same here, Billy, and thanks again, and thanks to all you listeners.
Hang on one second. Listeners, check it out. Silent Assassins, Mike LePond, Silent Assassins. We'll be right back.